fat wood. It's the pine resin soaked pine wood. You can carve a bunch of little pieces of the fat wood.
Fat wood?
And they call it Maya dust because it starts really easy, and the finer you make it, the better. You can actually carve a bunch of this and put it in a little tin so you're ready. But if you just get a bunch of little pieces of that, that works. Also, what we're going to show you is the steel wool that's in your packs. If you're going to use this, you either want to use some of your fat wood with it to get it burning, or you're going to want to have a grass bundle, or you know, some really dry stuff that you can use once you get the steel wool started to start your fire with. Anyways, so Jamin's going to start this steel wool on fire. Okay, ready?
Okay. Make some room for it.
Okay, there's some room. There you go. Put it right there on top of it. Okay.
Can I use these ones?
So he's got it going.
Oh.
That's how easy it'll get started. Okay, try again.
Let me try practicing.
Okay, now do it.
I did it!
And you see that caught that Maya powder that we had, or the shavings that I had off of it. So once you got that steel wool going, it caught quickly on that. And you can put this out and you can actually save it for build another fire. But that fat wood, Maya stick, pine resin is going to start quick. So that was Jamin that got that started. If he can do it, you can do it. Jamin just had a good point. He mentioned that we might not want to start fires in the house. So we've got to make sure that we inform everyone. If you're going to practice starting these fires, probably should go outdoors. And well, it's not a probably. Go outdoors to try it and make sure that you have adult supervision. Thanks. Be safe. Long live the forest.
We're going to make a shelter. And what we're going to use to make it is this emergency blanket.
So we're going to use an emergency blanket to build a shelter that you would use in an emergency situation. Stay tuned. Right?
Right. What? We put Gorilla Type on each corner to reinforce it and makes it stronger.
What does it do, Jamin? Makes it
Strong.
Makes it strong. So what we did is we put the Gorilla Tape that comes in your kit on all the corners and then the centers. That way you can poke a hole in it and use it to tie your paracord or whatever cordage you might have. Right?
Right. So stay.
Okay. All right. We got a little mini shelter built, and we're getting Jamin and Shaylee are gonna go show us. Go around the front way.
This
way. Okay. So Jamin, what does this shelter do?
It protects us from the rain.
Yeah, from the rain.
But it may not be as nice as a house, but at least it'll help you survive through the night.
Okay, so let's see inside of it.
Whoa! Sweet!
Don't want to get in, Shaylee?
Okay.
See, it could easily keep you out of the rain, and if you build a fire right here out in front of it, then the heat blanket will reflect that heat down onto you while you're sleeping inside. So we just used our dog pen and some rocks and one stake, but when you're out in the wild, you can use
anything.
Such as
Sticks, rocks, trees.
Perfect. Good job. All right, so that's the quick shelter. We built that in about 3 minutes. And it's perfect. All right.
See again. This is how you build a fire. We're gonna need the fruit and what?
To start the fire.
To start the fire. Let's see what we're gonna do to make it. I'll make sure it's looking directly at you. Okay, it's zoomed in on your finger doing the Vaseline. Now right here is when we've got to burn. Now what you want to see is how he built the fire. So the Vaseline is, so there's a wood holding the Vaseline. You might want to try that and then put some of your kindling wood on top of it, of the fire once you got your spark. And it's important that you don't put too much wood on it at first, or maybe it could burn out.
And this wood we're using is called fat wood. I'll explain what fat wood is later. So there we go. We got a fire.
What about these? What about the other ones? So we're gonna put some of our short stuff in and some of the bigger pieces. And there we go, a fire. Now, let's make sure it really works.
It's warm in here. Guys, get in there and I'll video you.
This is how you build the fire. And since it's a family survival kit, it's important that all the family helps to make it. And we've got our small bundle, our kindling wood, and bigger pieces of wood. And we're gonna use cotton balls dipped in Vaseline.
Alrighty. So, with survival, it's important that you have food, water, shelter, and fire. With this shelter and the fire, we just took care of two of them. Jamming and Shaylee inside, feeling both the heat directly from the fire and the reflective heat coming off the emergency blanket inside. Is it comfy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Comfy.
And there you go.
Easy as that. Go.
Oh. Because we forgot that side.
What was that? One good thing about a candle, and if you have steel wool, which is both in the survival kit, is that you can use the steel wool to smooth out the candle.
I'm watching the candle.
And you can do that all the way around it too, not just part of the way. And you just keep smoothing it out if you need to. That helps to make it smoother. And then you can also, get your steel wool and build kind of a worm-looking thing out of it. And you could probably, just kind of wrap around the top part of it for a minute while you hold it. Or you can make it like a square piece and put it underneath it if you wanted to keep it underneath it. That way if you set it down somewhere, it's always going to be just right there underneath it. Cut. The good thing about Carmex is that when you take the lid off, I'll show you for example, and you need a cup for water, you have a lid for the water, and then you can put some Carmex in it if you need Carmex in the water. That way it doesn't just taste like water.
What is
Cut.
What?
Say cut.
Can I say?
Yeah. You ready?
Go.
Back in 1932, there was a guy that had this exact same flashlight with a carabiner on it, and he was stranded in Alaska, and he used this flashlight and carabiner to build a shelter, a fire, and he ate it for food, and then he built a car to drive home, all with this flashlight and carabiner.
That was a funny story.
Cut.
This is blah 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 blah, and it helps you. Blah 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 blah.
Helps you blah 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 blah, and it's a na-na-ma-na-ma-na-ma-na. Cut. In the survival kits, we include a
what? A blah 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 blah.
a blah 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 blah.
Are you done?
This is the blah blah blah.
What was that?
We all help to make these survival kits. I don't know what to say.
Who helped?
Who helped make it?
I can't.
Mommy helped. Daddy helped. Daddy helped. Jamie.
Mommy helped.
Jamie.
Daddy helped.
Let Jamie say.
What can you do with a lighter?
Like a fire?
What else? What could you build, like a truck?
Yeah.
You build like a truck, or
Maybe you can even eat it and make
Toothpick.
a candy cake. Or you can make clothes with it.
cut. These Band-Aids that also have an antibiotic on them can also be used as a coat. Snowshoes, and a knife.
We could blah blah blah.
Cut.
I'll do it. Okay, now you make the funny story.
Alright, ready?
Hey, Jamin.
And you can look at me and just shake your head and say,
Once there was an old man with this, and it was back in 1933. And he was an Indian, and he used this for a fishing pole, a fire, and he even sculpted a dog.